So we'll begin our meeting. Susan will continue the presentation. Susan, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Polesana, for that hitch. Our Zoom has knocked us out. We were not able to restore it. So at least thank you, Christine, for the quick action. And we are now on Google instead. We can now start also recording. Okay, if you can put it on full screen, that would be great as well. And yeah, so karibu sana everybody again. Today we're going to be going through IBC, the Integrated Brand Communications Program. I will be just taking you through an overview of what to expect from the program overall. And then we have Eugene Omolo, who's our trainer for strategic advertising management, which is the unit we're going to be beginning with. And he'll give you a deep dive into that. Okay. So we began in 2014. That's how long we've been here. And we thank God for helping us stand the test of time. And we're still standing, and we are thankful for that. We specialize in offering training in brand communications and advertising, marketing related programs. Are you able to go to the next slide, Christine? And also, if you can put it on slideshow, it would be better. Basically, our mission is that we want to be able to build skills amongst both individuals and organizations, so that they can build their skills in building brands, as our tagline suggests. And it really has to be growth oriented. So it's not just about, you know, what I like calling sometimes the fluffy side of marketing. And a lot of organizations, especially in the management levels, tend to look at marketing and advertising as kind of fluffy. And it's for us to make sure that we don't come across as fluffy. So whatever it is that we are doing, it has to generate growth, even as you see from what Eugene is going to present to you. Next slide. So the way we do it is that, yes, many of you already have gone through university or college and all that, and you've probably even learned things academically. But what we do now is layer that with real life knowledge, real life skills, real life brands, so that whatever it is that you're learning, you're able to apply it immediately in what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Okay. And our, you can hardly hear me. Okay. Just tell me whether I've improved. I'll put on my volume. So basically our positioning, you can tell me on the chat whether my volume is better now. But basically our positioning is that we have aligned ourselves to the industry as much as we possibly can. So meaning that even the content that we develop is co-developed with industry, and we keep refreshing it with industry. And actually we are excited to say that right now we have just co-developed with Ogilvy Africa, which Eugene is part of the team there on the strategic advertising course. So you're just in time in, in coming and joining at the time when we have just refreshed our content. And these logos here will basically demonstrate to you some of our content partners. Let's go on. So basically, the way we work is that we have put together a team of trainers. You can go to the next slide. So the trainers basically consist of people who are experts at what they do, okay? So you'll see from the names here, these are people who do what they do on an 8 to 9 basis, whether it's through employment, consultancy, and that sort of thing. And what we have done is then coordinated with them in structuring this program, in delivering it to you. So you're basically getting it from people who have hands-on understanding and experience of what is going on in the marketplace. They also have an understanding of what are the skills gaps that are there, and therefore are also making that specific effort to make sure that that skill gap is addressed as we go through this training. And of course, these are people who are willing and have it in them, that desire to share knowledge and are people who are, will even mentor you as you go along this journey, as far as your professional growth in their area of expertise is concerned. As you can see, Eugene is there, and he'll be talking about himself more. So as we go along, go on. This now talks about our different offerings from our apprentice program, which is for those coming straight out of college. The integrated brand communications, which is still part of the apprentice program and the brand communications program actually are the same. It's just that the difference is those who take the apprenticeship also get an opportunity to work in an organization where they are also applying the knowledge that they gain through this program. And then we have the Chartered Institute of Marketing for those who at least have done about 5 years experience, and they want to now, they've reached a certain point, they want to grow, they want to go into management levels and eventually become chartered marketers. That's where that comes in. And then the short courses are actually just the units that fall under integrated brand communications. If you feel that you just want to take one specific unit, you can do that, and that's what we call the short course. And then finally, we have both master classes and in-house, which are more targeted to the corporates. Master classes are 1 or 2 day, master classes, which are normally they're normally bespoke trainings that are run by people now who are experts in emerging trends. And that's what we primarily cover through that. And then the in-house tailor-made is, as it suggests, is tailor-made to the organizational needs. Okay, Christine, I think you can go on. Go on. Yes, so the apprentice, as I said, is for fresh graduates. Let's talk about the apprentice. Slide 10. Next slide. Yeah, so it's about job preparedness. It gives you the technical skills, as well as soft skills, which are very important. We are finding that actually a lot of organizations now are insisting, not only should we be focusing on technical skills, but also personal skills. Just those things like emotional intelligence, dealing with people, stress management, project management, time management, and all manner of things that just help you at a personal level, so that even as much as you're learning all these things technically, you actually need to also learn these personal development skills for you to be able to excel. Whether you're in employment or self-employment, it doesn't really matter. You need them. So the other thing about the apprenticeship is you do 6 months of learning, and then you do 6 months of apprenticeship. And that's basically the difference between this and IBC. And we are quite happy that most of the people, over 90% of the people who end up taking an apprenticeship, end up being hired by those organizations. Go on. Okay, so we have, other than that, then for the professionals, we have the IBC program, which is what we're going to dwell on today. And then we have short courses, which are part of IBC as well as CIM. Let's go on. And then, as I've said, master classes and tailor-made, those are primarily for the corporates. This just gives you an idea of some of the organizations we work with, and one of the key master classes that we do, which is called Mindscapes. Let's go on. All right, so let's talk about integrated brand communications. So this is an interesting program because it's actually homegrown. When we started in 2014, this is actually what we started with. And what we did is actually put together a team of experts in the field who felt that there were gaps, in skills, and basically put this program together. And a lot of them actually have been with us since that time, and we continually work with them to provide these skills that are needed in the workplace. The other thing about it is it's very integrated. So meaning that whether you're sitting on the client side or on the agency side, you can apply it. And even on the agency side, because there are different functions within the agency side, you find that you actually end up having an understanding of 360 communications, from understanding brands, understanding marketing, to understanding advertising, digital, media, and all the different components that typically fall under an agency. So you have a holistic understanding. Even if you decide this is a career I'm pursuing, or just want to specialize in this particular area, you have that holistic understanding, which makes it amazing for you. And that helps you even to grow into management positions. And now we've also integrated it with AI, as you're going to see with what Eugene is going to take you through. And as I said earlier, this is basically a program that we have developed with Industry for Industry. It's endorsed by the Advertising Practitioners Association, which is the body, the industry body for advertising agencies here in Kenya. Okay, go on. Go on, Christine. Okay, so these are the key units that are covered under it. And so these are the key units that would be covered under integrated brand communications. As I said, it's integrated. So whether you're sitting marketing side or agency side, you end up getting a pretty good understanding of what happens holistically. So you will start with, understanding marketing and understanding brands. That's very foundational. And as I said earlier on, a lot of the times, unfortunately, marketing, advertising is considered as fluff. But if you have a good understanding of marketing and you have a good understanding of brands, it makes you see the connection between what you're doing and business growth, which, as you see, is the mission. You're growing your brands. I mean, you're building your skills in brands, building your skills in marketing, in advertising, not just for the sake of it, but because you're going to generate revenue for your organization, whether you're on the agency side or on the client side. Then we have strategic advertising, which is now puts on the hat of you now being in the agency. What happens in there? Okay. And again, even agencies today are under a lot of pressure to ensure that whatever you're doing is delivering results, as opposed to where it was before. And this is because people sitting in marketing departments have a very strong KPI, and are also under a lot of heavy pressure also to make sure that they are delivering. So this is also extended back to the agency. And of course, today we'll be talking about strategic advertising, where Eugene will now tell us more. And then we talk about integrated media management. Integrated media management is really now going into channels, okay? Interestingly, a huge part of budget currently goes into that, probably about maybe 70% of the budget. So it's very important that we also understand the science of media and how to ensure that wherever we are putting money, whatever channels we're using across board, whether they are above the line, digital, below the line, that we are optimizing that budget. And we are also able to measure the returns that come out of it, and it's able to deliver on the objectives, both marketing objectives and business objectives of the campaign. And then we will also go through digital for business. Of course, this digs deeper into the digital universe, which is huge now. And also we can see to a big extent, this is an emerging area. I think traditional advertising is still bigger than digital, but maybe Eugene can confirm, at least in this market. I know in globally, digital now is probably standing at about 80% of spend. But here we are still primarily a traditional market when it comes to channels. But still, digital is emerging, and there is a lot there that we need to understand. And then, as I said, all of this is underlined by account management and life skills, which then helps you get the personal development skills you need, to be able to perform effectively in the marketplace. Okay, let's go on. All right, so let me talk a little bit about one slide each. Let's go to the next one. Christine here. So under marketing, as we can see over here, unfortunately, I don't know why we can't go into slideshow, but let me expand this on my side. But as I said, it's really that intersection between understanding the business, understanding the brand, and then being able to start strategizing on how you're going to move forward. So this is really the strategy design process, from research to setting goals, to understanding your consumer and determining which are the segments that you're going to, how are you going to, first of all, segment your audiences, and then who are you going to target, and then positioning your brand. How do I make sure that the way I position my brand is unique, is relevant in the marketplace, so that it is able to stand out and consumers will choose you over and above your competitor. And then, of course, all of this eventually becomes part of a marketing plan, and you're going to also learn how to do your budgeting and planning your campaigns. Let's go next. And then next. Yeah. No, back. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to go too much into strategic advertising. I'll let Eugene talk about this. But just the main thing I would want you to understand is that when you come out of marketing, the key thing that you have identified is a segment you're going to target. You're going to define who that target market is, and you're going to position your brand. And then you have to decide on the metrics, the budget, and how am I going to measure success. Now that information has to go into the agency, so that now the agency is able to engage with your audience. The agency gets into and digging deeper into who this audience is, connecting with them, and being able to communicate effectively with them so that they can generate demand for your brand. So I'll leave it at that. Let's go. Christine, you will need to move with me.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I just want to.
Next slide.
Yeah. Is it on the next slide? It's supposed to be.
No, it's not.
Okay.
You can go to slide 21.
Yes.
Is it frozen or something?
No, I'm just resharing. Yes. Should be okay now. Is it okay now? Okay.
No, it's not yet on the screen.
Is it moving now?
No. It's not on the screen. Are you able to give me presenting rights? I can just look for it from my end.
Okay.
Just give me the rights, huh?
Yeah. 1 second. Your co-host.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going on.
I can try it again on my end. Okay. You can see now.
Does it come?
Yes.
Okay. You can view? You can see?
Yes, we can.
All right, fine. So let's go to digital. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. I don't know what's going on. So I've already talked about marketing. Now I've talked about advertising. Now, when it goes into digital, as I said earlier on, it's really about just focusing, of course, on the digital channels. And as I said earlier on, because what you do, you realize is that there's a whole universe of channels. Digital is not the only one, but now, of course, this enables you to dig dive. Oh my God. Okay, it allows you to dig into the digital space. So as we can see here, we cover quite a lot, from social media marketing into SEO, SEM, content marketing, which goes together with copywriting, email marketing and CRM, inbound marketing and lead generation, analytics and measurement, digital advertising, UX and website optimization, as well as creative design principles. So just again, this is, by the way, a refreshed program, which we just literally refreshed last week. And you will have the advantage of going through this refreshed version of it. And you will also go through the world of integrated media. This is basically now how you find yourself integrating all channels, because you have to realize that when it comes to communication, consumers are found everywhere. Right now, you could be looking at a screen on your laptop. You could be looking outside your window and there's a billboard. There could be a television playing somewhere. There could be the matatu you're in. So how do we integrate media across all the channels? And that's what really that takes us through, so that we make sure, as I said earlier on, the budget that the client has given or that you are working with is optimized across all the channels. Here we work, first of all, with understanding the landscape. What are the different channels? Where do you find people? Where are people spending? And then now you get into integrated media planning, from the brief to consumer analysis to the insight, and then finally what we call connections planning and strategy. And then you end with a campaign evaluation and data analysis. Okay, and then these are the skills you're going to learn in account management and life skills, as I said earlier on. So in terms of content partners, we have several, as I've said earlier on, and these are the ones that we are working with under the different units that we have. And we have actually just refreshed our content with all of these content partners. So I think that's it from my end. I'll allow Eugene to take it from there. And I hope, Eugene, you can start sharing. Let me stop sharing from my end. Christine, you may want to make him co-host.
Okay, Eugene, are you able to share?
Let me see. All right. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, we can. Let me just add you as co-host.
Eugene, we are seeing you from nose down.
From nose down.
Is
I
that
done the millennial
intentional?
thing of you can't see at least
Now
a bit
we are
more?
seeing you from mouth down.
Are you serious?
Yes. Well, okay, that's me. I don't know. That's how it looks on my screen. I don't know whether it's the same with others. You could probably comment.
Please let me know, anyone else, if I'm embarrassing myself doing the millennial thing.
Now I can see you.
Ah, fantastic, fantastic. So guys, I think first of all, thank you very much for bearing with us. I know it's a Thursday, Friday. So I'm really impressed by the attendance that we still have. Yeah, so kudos to you. I think just to pick up from where Susan left off, I think one of the advantages, and I mean, truth be told, we didn't have such platforms coming into the industry. 15, 20 years ago, you'd never have a class that would focus on the topics that we'll be covering within this unit. So we had to do it the hard way around. We used to learn by experience. If you're lucky enough to find a mentor to take you through the runs, that was a 1 in a million opportunity, but for the larger proportion of humans, such platforms didn't exist. So I think kudos to the ISA team and Susan for putting this together. I think this is going to be a course that puts you at an advantage distinctly in your space, not only from a capability perspective, and this is modern capability. We're not teaching you archaic concepts, but also to the opportunities to network and access mentorship. So I think you're in a unique position as you consider getting into this course. I think that's something I just wanted to reiterate. So yes, strategic advertising management enhanced by AI is something that I'm passionate about. Teaching is a passion of mine. And within the industry, I think it's our responsibility to enhance the capacity of anyone who's entering the industry or anyone who wants to enhance their capabilities in the industry. So Google Meets is always an interesting one. So yeah, for the next 15 minutes, I won't take too long in this because I don't think we should spend more time in the Q&A. Just to get an understanding of where your mind spaces are. But we shall explore how AI is reshaping strategic advertising management. And I think a broad assumption that we've made is AI is not neutral at the core. So artificial intelligence, specifically how it's applied to advertising, marketing, creative advertising is what the course is going to benefit you. But so just to get our feet with traditional strategy, took you through developing insights, finding an idea, executing it, and measuring the impact of this. I think talking to the clients that I've been with, talking to clients in different forums that we've engaged, one of the biggest tasks marketers are being held to account for currently is the last part called measurement. How do you tangibly quantify the effects and impact of marketing communication efforts? And I think with the age of what digital brought into the platform, what we're seeing with the enhancement of AI, measurement is not only easier, it's more transparent, and it's also a more effective tool of demonstrating the value marketers can bring to the table. So with AI, it still has the same rank that we're looking at. So it's not competition, I think it's just enhancement. What we're looking at is faster insight. I think when I was starting off, I have the benefit of pretty much working in every single field in advertising, as you put it. So from research and strategy development to media investment and management, to digital content and influencer marketing, to creative, what I do currently as creative solutions head, WPP. And I can tell you what AI has done to the whole process is making insights faster, creating bolder ideas, and also getting smarter in terms of execution and making us very sharp when it comes to management. So it's a process on steroids, so to speak, and that's what AI brings to the table. So starting, I think, 15 years ago, if you wanted to gather insights that will inform your strategy, you literally had to do the legwork in terms of quantitative surveys. So you'd actually go out with a questionnaire, get people to fill and give you the responses that they had. If you're a qualitative researcher, you'd actually do focus groups or gather insights from existing stuff. You'd then spend weeks just analyzing and digesting all of that data together to land on something called an insight. That's from the idea. With AI, you have a plethora of tools that allow you to shorten that process, make it more efficient, but also give you richer insights that you can then develop into the bold idea. So AI is doing fantastic things when it comes to strategy. And this is what I'm saying, really. AI enhances the creative work. It does not automate it. I think tools such as brainstorming, suggesting taglines, generating visuals, AI is not taking the pen away from us. It's actually just holding a flashlight to make our work more effective, sharper, and more pointed. So I won't pretend to go through all of this in this step, but I think some of the things that we have enhanced and we'll be talking about in our sessions, for instance, is the foundations of strategic advertising. So what we'll talk about is evolution of strategy in advertising and what that means to us in the current and future work that we are doing, the role of the strategist in modern creative teams. And when I say creative teams, this is possibly within the agency setup, but what we've noticed is there are quite a number of client placements currently who have almost in-house creative teams. So what's the role of the strategist in modern creative teams? What's the role of the strategist in an in-house creative team? We shall go into that. We'll look into case studies of classic and contemporary campaigns. And then what we'll work through is the frameworks that we use in strategy development. I think if you're familiar with things like AIDA, attention, interest, decision, and action, we'll go to the 4 C's, we'll go to the brand keys. Simon Sinek has an interesting golden circle that talks about positioning and why you need to start with why. We'll then look at it from those lenses. When it comes to audience insight and research, we'll take you through consumer segmentation, which demographic, psychographic, and behavioral, journey mapping and cultural context, the tools that we can then use in terms of audience mapping and what AI can actually enhance, and then the tools for insight mining and the various things that we can do. So from a foundational perspective, that pillar called audience insight and research will take you deeply into what AI has brought for that. Then moving in creative brief development, I think Susan spoke about this. Part of the requirements that you have is to be able to develop strong action-oriented briefs that then inspires strong creative work. So we'll go into the anatomy of a strong brief, from tension to trigger. We'll go into brief writing exercises. This will be as practical as it can. I think one of the advantages of what we do in this course is hands-on practical work on the case study that will support you in doing that. So brief writing exercises and peer reviews. AI as a co-writer, how to refine tools using platforms such as ChatGPT. Then we'll go into campaign planning and architecture. I think Susan talks about channel strategies and how to develop them. So from strategic frameworks from a 360 perspective, these are integrated campaigns, IMC communication planning, multi-channel strategy design, digital above the line and below the line, message framing and campaign theming, and how AI can actually simulate the customer journey and the content that we develop. So it could be content calendars for digital or content that will be run in other channels. A key part of what we look at in the course itself is also ideation and strategy handoff. So what's this role of strategy in creative development? So a lot of times people imagine strategy is one singular unit within the team that works alone. The ideal situation is co-creation with the campaign development. So you'll see how strategy and creative can actually work hand in hand in developing that. We'll deep dive into collaborating with creative teams. We'll have hands-on experience on prompt engineering basics for creative exploration, and then how Mid-Journey, Copy, and Canva can actually help us in campaign pre-testing before we go live. And like Susan mentioned, I think measuring strategic effectiveness is a big part of what we need to do in this day and age. So how do we set key performance indicators that are linked to the business goals? A running joke within client side is whenever a board is missing and the people from the finance department come and talk about what they've done to generate business, the teams from marketing come and talk about how they spent the money of the organization. So to avoid such difficult conversations, we can actually go into how marketing KPIs can be linked to business goals. That way you can tangibly demonstrate a line that crosses all the way from what the business objectives are to the KPIs that your campaign will deliver. We're then going to awareness, consideration, conversion, and retention metrics, which are key performance goals of any campaign. And then look at the tools that we can use to analyze and generate those KPIs. Then lastly, look at AI-driven reporting, development of dashboards, sentiment analysis, as well as pattern spotting. So what I've talked about in a few minutes is literally the bulk of the coursework, but yes, we shall go deeply into those sessions. And I think it will be very practical, very hands-on. We'll talk about real-life Kenyan examples. So yes, we'll look at global best practice and case study, but I think the benefit that you'll have from this course is we have the bulk of knowledge about Kenyan context and how Kenyan campaigns can be more strategic. So I think just a few parting shots. I think AI is about enhancing the workflow. So it expands your toolkit, doesn't replace you. I think we've done previous sessions whereby we talked about the fears of AI taking our jobs. I think creative plus AI gives you that creative intelligence to enhance your spaces. I think there are new roles that are currently emerging when it comes to work that you can actually do. Yes, this is a course on strategic advertising management, but I'd like you to find utility in some of the areas we explore, whereby possibly a new career path can actually develop for you. And we're seeing prompt engineers as a career path, creative technologists as a career path, data-informed creatives being different career paths that are emerging with what AI has done. So as you prepare for the course, what you should do today, I think a few actionable items you can do: experiment with AI, both the free versions, and if you have any paid subscriptions, keep playing around with them. See that? Definitely learn how to prompt better. Prompting is going to be at the core of a lot of things that we're looking at. So how do you write better prompts? Collaboration with the AI in everything that we do. Sharing and normalizing the use of AI at work or in your personal spaces. And as always, stay curious and stay critical. So just to whet your appetites, that's just a little of what we'll talk about in the course. And I'm looking forward to engaging with all of you as you sign up for the course. So at this point, I think I'll hand back to Christine and the ISO team, the Q&A, so that we can get more feedback from the team. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Eugene, for sharing that wonderful presentation and very insightful. I think we're all looking forward to the strategic advertising class, advertising management class. This is the section where we take Q&As. Do you have a question? Just unmute yourself and ask, either about the module, the strategic advertising management module, or in general about the integrated brand communications course. Does anyone have a question? No question from the audience? All right, so I think if there's no question, we will just end the meeting.
Christine,
Yes.
I'll put your slides.
All right. Okay, let me finalize by sharing just how the course is delivered. For the integrated brand communications course, we have said there are 5 modules, which Susan has taken us through: the strategic advertising management with AI, marketing and brand planning with AI, integrated media management with AI, digital for business with AI, as well as account management and life skills. So for each module, it takes 6 weeks, and the whole course runs for 6 months. And the classes are held every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then at the final course, the final bit of the course, that is in the 5, after you're done with the 5 modules, there is a final projects where you're put into groups, and then you're given a real life situation, and then you're given a project to tackle it. So it is really quite interesting. Maybe next slide. So that is our calendar for this year for the June intake. Strategic advertising management with AI starts on 10th June. Marketing and brand planning starts on 22nd July. So if you're not able to join in the June intake, you can join in July, you can join in September. So if you're taking the full integrated brand in the full IBC course, that means that if you join in June, you'll be able to finish in December. However, if you join in July, you will finish next year, because there will be a module that you have not yet done, which is strategic advertising and management. So this is no pressure at all. If you're able to join this June intake with the first module, you can go ahead. You will receive a survey after this meeting, after this webinar. And if you feel the survey, we will be able to get into contact with you and take you through the enrollment process if you want to join this June intake or July or September. So that is our calendar for this year. You can go to the next slide. So yes, so this is our fee structure. As I said, there are 5 modules. You can take them as a short course. So meaning one module is 6 weeks. And this is just the installment payment plan. So one module is 45,000 with a registration fee of 2,500. That's 47. 47,500. will pay the registration fee. However, if you want to pay in installment, there is a 5% surcharge fee. So that's why the total of the one course comes at 47,250. If you intend to do 2 courses, that's also the installment plan, sorry, in installments. For 3 courses, you can also pay in 3 installments, as well as for the full course. You can go to the next slide. That's it for our presentation for today, and that's it about integrated brand communications course. I don't know if you have any questions from the audience. We will definitely share the meeting recording with you, as well as the slides. So don't feel that you have missed out. Yeah. All right. There being no any additional questions or any questions from the audience, I just want to welcome Susan. Close the meeting.
Well, okay, thank you. That was another quiet class. Eugene, do you have any closing comments? You could also put on the chat if you have a comment.
And I think just in closing, we're looking forward to seeing each and everyone. I think this is an opportunity of a lifetime in your career. So it's really up to you to take advantage of the opportunity. So see you when you start. Thanks.
All right. So I think for me, I'll also say thank you again, and thank you for your patience. At least we've been able to close on time. I think, Eugene, you are really good on time management. We are not too far off from the planned time of 7. It's now just slightly after 7. I'm sure everyone is rearing. Oh, at least those in Kenya. They're looking forward to a holiday tomorrow. So yeah, happy to hear from you. Or just you can give us your comments on the survey or feedback form that will come to you after this. Otherwise, then have a good Eid tomorrow. I can't pronounce it in full, but I know it's related to Eid.